Hey, so welcome to a brand new episode of the Hustle for Good podcast. I'm your host, Steve, and today's guest is Akbar Sheikh. How you doing, Akbar?
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So I've worked with you for the past year, and you've helped out my hustles of good. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what is your hustle for good?
My hustle for good is really empowering experts and really empowering entrepreneurs to turn their expertise into a wildly impactful and profitable coaching business. And of course, at the same time, if you're an existing coach, helping them, elevate their game. That's our hustle for good. I've just been a coach, for a little while now, and had a pretty interesting journey. Long story short, as I look at my wall, I see a big, it's kind of a reminder to me, it's a big kind of before and after picture. But, listen, life was a bit of a mess, 50 pounds overweight, a lot of bad habits, toxic relationships, not spiritual, having no why, really kind of going nowhere in life. Really ended up actually in the hospital, feeling like I'm half dead or thought I was going to die. And I didn't. I survived. And I ended up, I had a crippling anxiety disorder, mixed with the partying lifestyle, and ended up in the ER. I thought I was going to die, but I didn't. So basically tried to take advantage of that, or I felt like I think I'd done a decent job at trying to take advantage of the second chance. So I dropped, I went organic, I lost 50 pounds, I got out of my toxic relationships, started getting spiritual. I started, I found my why, which is basically the hustle for good. And then here we are today, enjoying being on your podcast.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And the one thing that I found with a lot of people is that they did have that pivotal moment that really figured out what their why was. And do you think that why was like being in the hospital, or what do you think that was that why?
No, being in the hospital helped me turn my life around, and things were going well. But what was missing was my why. My why, it wasn't, you'll hear different stories about people's why. Some people it's just like, boom, that's my why. But some people it's a bit of a drawn out journey. For me, it was a bit of a journey, and there were phases of it. First phase was I discovered kind of psychology of sales, psychology of online marketing, psychology, ethical principles of persuasion. And I really enjoyed that, and I discovered I was good at that. So now I felt like I was getting closer to my real why. Then I actually joined I think my first ever mastermind, which was Russell Brunson's mastermind. And I met a guy there. You never hear his name, quiet guy, behind the scenes kind of guy. And he told me about a charity by the name of sightsavers.org, where they give the gift of vision to blind people for like the cost of a cheap date. Because, it's in third world countries and they have cataract problems, and a cataract surgery is not a big deal at all unless you have no money. That was the beginning of like my real why, where it was a why that made me cry, and I was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. And when I heard that, and you'll know when you hear it, because when I heard it, it was just like, oh my God, wow. Like that really touched me. And that might not happen to someone else. They might have heard that, oh, okay, cool. And it might be that they hear about some pet or some dog charity or something or whatever, and that hits their nerve. But for whatever particular reason, the Sight Savers story really struck a chord with me, and it struck that chord so deep where, you start tearing up, and that's what it did to me. Then it started there. Then I feel like it started cementing itself through a few things. Number one, my accountant actually sent me a letter during tax season. I'm like, oh my God, what's this now? What's this headache now? And she sent a letter, and she said, man, you're doing a good job. We're proud of you. You're giving a good amount. I said, oh man, I'm kind of nervous now, because I'm like, okay, you need to like look at the numbers again, because we don't give that much. We try to give a roundabout. I don't know the exact number, but we try to give a roundabout 10%, something like that. And she's like, no, yeah, that's right. And I was like, so what's the big deal? She's like, dude, and they specialize in a lot of like online entrepreneurs. And obviously there's confidentiality and all that, but she's like, dude, people don't do this. People don't do anything like this. When she said that,
Yeah.
it was like a punch. It was really like, you ever get the wind knocked out of you?
Yeah.
It was really that. It really felt like a punch to the gut. I was like, really? And I couldn't, like, I'm just telling you my emotions. I was so hurt. Because for me, my number one secret has always been giving. It's never been a pixel or some like viral ad or, any of that sort of stuff. It's always been giving. So like, damn, dude, I got to let the people know that. I have to let the people know that. So that was a pivotal moment for me too, that really started cementing that make more, give more movement. Then it kind of kept getting further cemented where I would talk about a lot. And then like my students and stuff, they would show me like pictures of their receipts. But hey man, yeah, you talk about it. So I did donate. Here's a receipt. And to their favorite cause. Like, yeah, man, it felt good. Thank you. We didn't really do that before so much. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. Then a guy actually came up to me. It's a true story. I have it on video. He said, man, you saved my life. He came up to me at a conference shaking and crying. And he's like, bro, you saved my life. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, I was ready to, I could not figure out business. I was trying to figure out this online business. I just couldn't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually ready to kill myself.
Wow.
I was thinking of killing myself. And then he's like, I came across you, and I learned that the key to living is giving. And he says, I have a business now that generates some sort of revenue, and he now donates to mental health facilities.
Wow.
In other words, this concept of make more, give more, completely changed the trajectory of his life.
Wow.
He was going down the wrong path, but this concept took him down a better one. And that really helped solidify it a lot too. I think it's an ongoing, if you want me to be totally honest and open about this concept, which I'm fascinated by.
Yeah.
I think it's I think you can have a lot of cool sound bites about it and a lot of cool memes about it, but I also feel that the truth is it's a bit of an organic process.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that there's a lot of moving parts. For example, when I first started making decent revenue, and for the first time in my life, I'm writing like fat checks to charity organizations. It was the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife, I'm calling my mom. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like, yeah, this feels so good. It's so awesome because it was new.
Yeah.
But then eventually, because we were not involved with them, eventually, and this is kind of like the dark side that I don't know if people talk about it or not. I haven't heard it, but eventually that feeling goes away because it's just writing another check. If you write check and then check and then check, that feeling kind of goes away. And then it's important to stay involved, and a lot of these charities do a poor job at this, by the way. Yeah. But like, when I'll get letters from them and they'll give me update reports on like orphans we sponsor and stuff like that. And that really helps, like fuel and feels good. And I was talking to my daughter the other day. We have an orphan by the name of, I don't know if I can tell you for privacy reasons, but we'll just call her Sophia, right? Yeah. My daughter's young. I don't know if she fully grasps this kind of. So she said, they the orphanage people, they sent a picture of the orphan. Like, we're taking care of, we're taking care of their medical, their food, their clothing, their education, so on and so forth. And my daughter and my kids are spoiled, unfortunately. So, I'm showing this picture, and like they're literally throwing like food on the floor, my kids, because they're crazy. And I show this picture. I'm like, Sophie doesn't have any of this stuff. Sophie doesn't have like these clothes that you're ruining. She doesn't have any. This toothpaste you're throwing on the floor. She doesn't have any. Like, she doesn't have a mom and dad. You have a mom and dad who unfortunately gives you whatever you want. She doesn't have, and I did see, she's young. My daughter's very young, but I did see her be like, oh, she has no mommy, daddy. I felt that connection. Where she starts to understand it. That was a beautiful moment for me. When I really saw her be like, oh man, she doesn't have any parents. She doesn't have any toothpaste. I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, we're trying to help her, by the way.
For sure.
I actually said, this is like your sister. Yeah, it kind of became a little weird because you're too young to understand that concept. But
Yeah.
I was like, this is like your sister. She doesn't have a mom and dad, so I'm taking care of her. My mom, your mom and me are trying to take care of her. And I felt like she was understanding it. But anyway, I was going on a tangent. But I think it's very important to stay involved in your why too. Otherwise, dude, it's like anything else, man. It's like you've got to be consistent and involved. Otherwise, it'll go away.
For sure.
And you got to stay in a state of gratitude as well.
Yeah.
Or it'll go away. And I would love to kind of like, and I try to tell some of these charity organizations, like, they need to communicate better.
Yeah.
With their donors to like build that, make them really feel like a part of it and keep them more updated. Some are doing a good job, some are trying, some are not doing a job as well. But anyway, yeah, that's a long answer to your question.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's go back to, like, how does one develop a why? Like, you're walking around, maybe you make good money, either an entrepreneur, or you're pretty well paid professional, and you're just like, I mean, for me, it was like, you're a consumer of life, right? Like, I feel like the why almost comes with your purpose, right?
Yeah.
How does one develop a why?
Look, I'm just going to answer you based off my own experience.
Yeah.
And typically, you'll notice when you talk to people, they're typically going to give you, like, I have an uncle, he's a real estate icon, right? Or he's a real estate mogul or whatever, right? When people ask him advice about business, he goes directly to real estate because that's what he knows.
Yeah.
Other people would give whatever they know. So for me, it was a couple of different things. Number one is you have to change your circle of what I call the circle of power.
Okay.
And what that is the people you hang out with. Because the reality is, you've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. You are, and it's a really cool and powerful and really fun statement, but you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Yeah. And the reason I like that so much is because you can actually choose, like, for example, you can't choose your family, but you can choose who you hang out with.
Yeah.
So that, for me, I was hanging out with like a lot of bums for a lot of years, right? A lot of party animals, rock stars, like people like that, right? Dunkin' Donut parking lots all night, talking about,
whatever. Yeah.
Talking smack, right? Gossiping, this and all this nonsense, right? Now, what I tell you, the first point was when I met that guy in a mastermind. Yeah. But that's when I started changing the people I'm hanging out with. So I joined a mastermind. I'm hanging out with better people. And by the way, that was kind of a high-end mastermind, but there's another story where I joined a very low-end and affordable one, and I was hanging out with the right people too. That led me to that. That's why I said it's a bit of a journey. But whatever you can get in, start hanging out with better people, because better people, not better people, but different people, in the sense that, they say small-minded people talk about other people, where, how do I say this? Where big thinkers discuss ideas.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with the small-time thinkers, the gossipers, the backbiters, that talk smack, talk about movies, talk about, all that water cooler talk.
Yeah.
So never talk about like this sort of stuff. Once I started hanging out with bigger thinkers, then we discussed it. I was shocked. I was like, yeah, that's what it is. I was like, he talked to me, but the sightseer was up like, oh, wow, that's so cool. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, that's definitely, there's 2 points I have. That's one point where I think that's really easy and really important. It's just change the people you hang out with.
Yeah.
And anyone can do that.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two is, they say, I don't quote me on this, but I think every major religion, I really shouldn't say this because I actually don't know. But I know some of the major religions say this: walk towards God. Maybe you can help me out with this, actually. Let me know if you know anything about it. But walk towards God and God runs towards you.
Yeah.
So you've heard this. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, another way of saying it is like, whatever you chase will also chase you.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So exactly correct. Now, I think Aristotle, what's his name? Aristotle, yeah. Yeah, I think Aristotle said inspiration will come to you as long as you're, because one of the age-old questions they used to ask ourselves, how do you get inspired? How do you get inspired? Same thing. How do you find your why? How do you find your why? And he said it back then. He said, hey, it will come to you if you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to fall in your lap while you're watching Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So I was actively trying to like improve my life and trying to actively improve the quality of humanity. So I was actively going down that path.
Yeah.
And that's when, you know, these things started happening, these connections started happening, these doors started opening. Is when I was actively pursuing that.
Yeah.
With a clearer intention. So I think that's a pretty safe two-step system that anyone can apply.
So ideally, it's like change your circle and then put yourself in a state of actively pursuing your why, right?
Absolutely.
So just saying, I mean, and that could come across like, you know, finding people with their whys, following them, consuming information.
Now I have to be, I don't want to give like, you know, and these are all cool, you know, sexy sound bites and stuff, right? But I want to go a little deeper and say that, hey, for some people, it's a bit of a journey. For example, you know, for me, I was looking for my why for many years. However, I do believe there's a shortcut.
Yeah.
And that's basically, you know, as you know, Steve, what I'm teaching in our program, The Coach's Secret, is that for so many years when I was searching for my why, I wasn't primed to do so.
Yeah.
I wasn't, in other words, I was fishing for a why, but I didn't have any bait.
Yeah.
I didn't have a hook. I didn't even have a hook. It's like I'm fishing with a line. Not gonna catch it.
Yeah.
So you need to prime yourself in order to be able to acquire that why. You need to be, for example, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, dude, I want a 30-unit building so bad. I want a 30-unit building so bad. Bro, you have no credit. Bro, you have no cash. Like, get some cash, get some credit, and then you'll be able to, like, if I give you an opportunity right now, here's a 30-unit apartment building, you can't get it. You don't have credit. You don't have cash.
Yeah.
However, if you have credit, you have cash, and here's an opportunity. Now you can take it.
For sure.
In that, now, how do you prime yourself for a why? That goes back to the fundamentals, bro. Which is what I had to do after I left the hospital. Get physically healthy. You know, I lost the 50 pounds. Get rid of the negatives in your life. Like, I had to change my circle of influence.
Yeah.
I had to get out of toxic relationships.
Yeah.
I had to get rid of my bad habits.
Yeah.
And I started becoming a little bit more, you know, spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I never was at all. So these are the things you can do. You know, I started to get my mind right. And these are the things you do to be able to prime yourself to be able to find and internalize and accept the advantage of getting a why.
For sure. And so it almost sounds like, I mean, it's kind of like the phrase, like, what got you to where you are now isn't going to get to where you want to be, right? And so, like, really evaluating, you know, all aspects of whether it's your health or your circle, your bad habits, all of these sorts of things, and almost priming yourself for your why to come, right?
Absolutely correct.
So let me ask you this. So like, we have your why, and then let's talk about, like, you know, that next phase of like how did you actually start building this business, this vehicle that would, you know, help feed your why?
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, in all honesty, that, and I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea, but a lot of things come easier to you when you're primed.
Yeah.
I am now, after many, many years, in a state of mind of confidence. In essence, like, yeah, we can make business work. Yeah, we can launch another product, or yeah, we can sell this program out, or whatever. That took years to develop.
Yeah.
Our business is, well, as you know, currently our vision is to be the go-to global training for any expert, any entrepreneur who wants to turn their expertise into a thriving coaching practice. Now, why? Why, coaches? Why did I choose to go down this path? Well, you take a look at some of the most powerful, influential people in the world, people such as Oprah, the Clintons, the CEO of Google, you know, people like Leonardo DiCaprio. The list goes on and on and on. all of these people, there's a serious list here. They all attribute a lot of their success to a coach. What's interesting to me was the CEO of Google. I forget his name. It was Larry something.
Larry Page, or
I think it was Larry. I don't quote me.
yeah.
I think it was Larry though. But I guess the CEO of Alphabet now. I guess that's their parent.
Yeah.
But he's obviously he's like a tech guy. And a lot of tech guys, I think that they're a little like, oh, coach, I don't know. He was hesitant. It's documented. He was hesitant. But someone really insisted, no, dude, you need to get. He is now quoted as saying, everyone needs a coach. Now, for me in my own life, a coach really changed. Remember I told you that like I joined a smaller mastermind? A coach was really changed the trajectory of my life. That dude who said, and I don't want to sit here and take credit for stuff because everything is from God, but that dude who said, hey man, we saved you guys saved our life. Coaching changed the trajectory of his life. Yeah. I'm a big believer that coaching really improves the quality of mankind.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that people are inherently good. It's just that there's a lot of, I saw a big gap in the industry. Most coaches have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Most coaches have no idea what they're doing. Most coaches are not satisfying their clients. They're not making enough money. They don't know the business of it. So and I never understood this statement when I was younger, but I do now. But we, through blood, sweat, and tears, figured some things out, cracked a few codes, understood how to do things right in the coaching game. So that's why I said, this is the pain I've gone through, the suffering I went through. This is what I'm good at. And I've found a gap, and I'm now going to empower these people. Our vision is to create a wave of impactful coaches. Because right now, this is still a bottom floor opportunity. So we just want to empower experts and coaches to be able, to send out that positive wave, of positive, really feedback towards the universe. And so that's what we're currently doing to kind of spread good.
For sure. So the idea was that you've been impacted by coaches.
Yeah.
You've coached other people that then made an impact. You saw that there was a gap in the field.
Yeah.
And now your true hustle right now is to create the next generation of coaches that are then going to make their own impact right there.
Yeah, bro. There's a student of mine by the name of Rob, right? I think his trophy is right here. He had many coaches. I was one of them. He is now hosting his own masterminds.
Yeah.
And he has invited me.
Quinn, right? Rob Quinn?
Rob Quinn. Yeah. Great guy. And he has now invited me, as a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, to go speak at his mastermind. So he is he is now spreading good out there. We were able to be a part of that process to help him do that. And now it's such an honor for me to go to one of my students.
For sure.
Mastermind was making a big production. He's impacting a lot of lives. That's what it is. I want to create a bunch of like mini-me's. Do you know what I'm saying?
While you're doing that, what is that behind you guys? So people could see.
These are just, trophies. When we help a student hit 7 figures, we give them a trophy. When we help a student hit 6 figures, we give them a trophy. A few reasons for this. One, it's a great, I actually got the idea from Russell because he gives these awards out when someone helps someone hit 7 figures.
Yeah.
It's just, in all honesty, it's just genius marketing, right? Because everybody wants this. Everyone wants that accolade. Everybody wants to collect things. So, if people are thinking about, should I go with this guy or this guy? People will actually go with the guy who's giving out a trophy because they just want that badly. A lot of people just want this more than they want the money.
Yeah.
It's just a deep psychological thing. And that's why we give it. And it is to celebrate success as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as people are making more to give more as well and have good intentions and stuff. But it's primarily used as a marketing vehicle. But yeah, no, I actually want to change it up a little bit. I want to make them even cooler. I think they're pretty cool, but I want to take it next level.
Yeah.
More enticing for people.
For sure. And talk about the idea, because I think one of the things that you do really, really well is leverage your organic, social, personal Facebook page as a community building tool. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I'm sorry, man. I didn't hear you. Can you just repeat that?
Yeah. I was going to say is one of the things that you do extremely well is build community online, right? So like not only do you have your own your private Facebook group, you have like a public Facebook group, but like you build community just literally on your Facebook page, which is really amazing. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, let's kind of take a look at a micro example. I mean, like, you know, this program I have, the Coach's Secret, which you're in the group. Very purposefully, we are in there every day. You see, one of the first things I learned about online marketing is that every day you should be doing three things: building an audience, cultivating an audience, monetizing an audience. A lot of people forget about the first two. They're just trying to monetize. In order to build a tribe of people who are with you, look, at the end of the day, it's human psychology. What do people want? They want to feel loved. They want to feel looked after. They want to feel that you have their best intentions. They want to feel that you're a part of the process and you care. So we do that, you know, and it just so happens that, you know, we do care. So just like any relationship, communication is key.
Yeah.
And we've learned it the hard way. We've learned this the hard way because there were some communities that we were not super active in because we didn't know we had to. We're just like, here's the material. If you need anything, let us know. We were not super proactive. That was a big mistake. People want to know that you're part of it. People they don't want to think that you took their money and then, you know, you just disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. People don't want to, you know, think that, oh, you just took the money and now he doesn't care. The worst thing in the world is like, oh man, you really seem to care, but then you got the money and you disappeared. Matter of fact, recently that happened to me with a guy. He was always getting in touch with me, and then I was like, I didn't even want to sign up for his thing, but he was had such tenacity that I actually just respected his hustle, and I signed up with him. But after I signed up with him, all of a sudden it's impossible to get a hold of him. That's, you know, anybody can hustle, bro, and get a few clients, right? Anybody can hustle and get a few clients. That's easy. Retaining them,
yeah,
that's where you're actually building an actual business. And it's pretty easy, bro. It's just constant kind of communication. For example, today in my group, the Coach's Secret, you know, we're releasing content at a certain speed because right now the content's very heavy and we don't want to overwhelm them. Yeah. We want people to take each piece of content and digest it. So today I put up a poll in the group, right? And every day I put something. It's like, hey man, you're getting another new module today. It's awesome. Hey, listen, we care. Can you give us some feedback? Are you getting the content? Are we dripping out the content too fast? Are we dripping out too slow? Is it just right?
Yeah.
You know, and we do care. You see, here's the thing. Statistically, and that's I think that's a prerequisite. You actually have to care, right? Bro, is this possible to pause this or no? Not really.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
So the prerequisite is you actually have to care. Okay. Then daily communication. You should be in that group every day, whether it's a quick post, a quick live, asking how people are doing. You want to treat these people like family and friends, and you want to encourage cultivation. A way to help that is actually to let people know that before they even join, that, hey, this is what the community is like, and this is the kind of people. In other words, you attract that.
Yeah.
You attract that. So that's kind of the pre-framing of it. Then, bro, it's about the constant communication. And that's the thing, right? And that it's part of that thing, showing up every day. You know, for example, I give content every single day, rain or shine, broken leg, in the hospital, bronchitis, pneumonia, wife's mad at me, kids are sick, people out in town, we're traveling, whatever is going on. We're like the postman, dude. Rain or shine, we show up every single day and give content. You know what I'm saying? And that is a lot of, you know, old school people will tell you that. A lot of people have been in the game for a while who see a little bit of success. They'll be like, dude, you got to show up every day. It's that consistency. And it's the same with the community. It's just got to be genuine. You know, you can't fake compassion. Like you can't fake, like people will be able to feel if you're genuine or not. You know what I'm saying? So you have to genuinely care. And here's the thing, bro. If you don't care, then don't start a community. Or you can have a community, have like a moderator to run it. It's just not going to be that great. It'll serve a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it won't be optimal.
Which is why it's important to pick a community or create a community that you would want to be a part of yourself.
As I tell people, bro, is that there's a lot of, like, if you want to achieve something, there's a lot of different ways to achieve that. Pick a way you like. Let me give you an example. Getting fit. I hate going to the gym, bro. I just never liked it. Okay, well then play a sport. Or, oh, you don't like that? Okay, well then go do yoga. Okay, you don't like that? Go do MMA or kickboxing. There's like a bunch of options. In other words, bro, I'm shocked people don't really take advantage of this enough. Design your life, bro. Like, there's not a lot of things that I do that I hate in my day-to-day. Yeah. Like, I mean, matter of fact, give me a second, man. I'm just gonna look at my calendar right here. No, enjoyed that morning meeting, enjoying this interview. Yeah, I mean, all of it, bro. All of it. I'm looking at my whole day. It's packed back to back. Well, yeah, once in a while there'll be something for sure, but generally speaking, there's no reason you shouldn't really be enjoying the most of your day.
You're doing. Yeah. That's really, really cool. And I believe that, like, you know, I wanted to talk about why. I want to talk about what your hustle is. And the other part too is, like, you know, I love just the idea of, like, you know, just like commerce, culture, community, right? Just how everything sort of fits together. And then talk about, I mean, I know you talked about the guy that you made an impact on, but what do you think the legacy is going to be for Akbar? Because at least for me, when I think about, you know, like, I'm a leader in my own community. And I think if you're a leader in your own, you need to be part of somebody else's community to understand what it's like to be a contributing member as well, right? And so what do you think your legacy is going to be, or what could we look forward to seeing from you next?
Bro, it's a great question. I have noisy guests in the office, but you know, I get caught up a lot in this trap of go, impact. You know, again, when we talked about your why being organic, it's like, I feel like that part is a little organic too, where it's kind of always changing. I'll be totally honest with you. Like, I have a pretty clear vision about, remember I said I want to be, you know, a global trainer. I want it to be a global, you know, the global go-to place for entrepreneurs to turn their expertise into a thriving coaching practice. That is, you know, definitely going to be a part of the legacy. As far as the philanthropic legacy, that part we're still formulating, bro. I mean, right now we're pretty passionate about water projects, giving clean water. We're pretty passionate about orphans. We're pretty passionate about helping the blind. You know, but that's not well defined, bro. That's not well. I mean, it's there. We're doing it, but it's, as far as a legacy goes, you know, that we're still kind of defining. Again, it's all in steps. It's like picture the iPhones, right? You had the original iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right?
Yeah.
You can't go from the original iPhone to iPhone 10. It's not a difference. You have to, what's the next best version of yourself, you know, and get to the next best version of yourself. From a philanthropic point of view, it's not crystal clear. We're going down that path. We're getting to those answers. You know, we're acquiring the assets and the knowledge and the experience to get that answer. You know, some people are blessed. They'll just wake up and, yep, this is what I want. I want to have like 10 hospitals free. That's going to be my legacy. Some people got to figure it out like that. You know, others like myself, it's a bit of an organic process. It's a bit of a system. But I feel like we're going down the right paths. Certain doors are opening. Like, for example, I'm giving a TEDx talk in a couple of weeks in Colorado, which happens to be a very giving audience. I want to put my message out there. What's going to happen is people are going to approach me and say, man, you know, we're working on this project. You should really be a part. In other words, you know, we're going in a direction and doors will open. And you know, we're ready. We're ready for it. You know, we're ready for that.
You've been primed.
Yeah, you're always being primed. It's in process, and the thing is, like, if you lay off, priming is a daily thing. Mm-hmm. If you lay off for a little bit, it goes away, and then you have to kind of redo it.
For sure.
So we're moving in the right direction. I think.
Cool. So what, two more questions. One is, what do you think other hustlers of good can do to sort of move towards the path of creating their ultimate hustle for good, or creating their ultimate hustle of good lifestyle? What do you think those things are?
Yeah, bro, it's like, I don't have like the world's sexiest answer for that, because for me, it's been a process, and nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants the magic pill. Everybody wants the shortcut. Everyone wants it tomorrow. What's the 3 things I can do today to make that happen? What I can tell you is that it does happen in a short amount of time, but it's not going to happen tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is about really what we've been talking about: priming yourself, changing your circle of influence, running towards a purpose, and the purpose will come running towards you, and doors open. But the journey, also the key is, bro, and again, I never understood this before, and I heard it when I was younger, but the key is to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Because if the journey is no fun, then you're kind of really shooting yourself in the foot. But,
Yeah.
we are enjoying the journey. We are enjoying the journey. We're not stressing out about the finish line. We're not, we're keeping an eye on it. We're thinking about it. It's not exactly crystal clear, and that's okay, because the journey is progressing. It's not like, as long as you don't feel stuck, as long as you don't feel like, things are stagnant, but if things are moving in what you think is the right direction and growing, you're in good shape. You're in good shape to just relax, enjoy the process, and it'll happen. I mean, I haven't met any people who've been primed, who've been working the right way, got the right people around them, and years and years down the road, they're just like, yeah, I don't know, I can't seem to find any purpose. I haven't met anyone like that. So I mean, that's a powerful statement, I think, on its own.
Cool. And last question: what does hustle for good mean to you?
I think, simply put, it's using your superpower for good. I mean, we're all given God-given gifts, and what are you doing with it? Are you just trying to hoard money, or what are you doing with it? I think that's really all it is.
Cool. Dude, Akbar, thank you so much for your time. How can people get in touch?
Yeah, man, just go to my website. It's just my name.com. Matter of fact, why don't I give your audience a gift? We have a book. I like it. It's called 7-Figure Funnels. It's called 7-Figure Funnels. I'll slap you in the face with a cold fish blueprint on how to create a 7-figure online business in just 7 ethical steps, smiley face. It's $47 on Amazon, but I'd love to give it to your audience for free.
Awesome.
And that would be 7figurebook.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Akbar. This was great. And I obviously love talking to you and working with you. And thank you for giving me the permission to pursue this path of hustle for good. And I'm glad that you're my first interview. And I'd have to say that it feels really good to find somebody that thinks the way that I do, and not only thinks, you are actually living it. And so I'd like just to honor you for living your truth and inspiring other people out there, because in the sort of sea of people and platforms and social media, it is a breath of fresh air to find somebody that is truly authentic and that cares about the sort of legacy and journey of others. So thank you again.
Thank you, man. And bravo to you. My hat off to you for having a plan, showing up every day, being consistent, implementing, because, I remember you telling me about this. This was an idea of yours, and you said, I want you to be the first guest. And I was like, be my honor. And then you did it, man. You made it happen. Most people are just dreamers, just talkers, and they don't actually do it. But you did the damn thing, and I know it's going to be a huge success.
Awesome.
And I'm truly honored to be the first guest. I really appreciate that. That honor.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
All right, brother. Talk soon.